Hello everyone, I'm BeakerTeck, also known as Keegan, and welcome to Democracy 3. I thought we'd try something a little bit different on this channel. It's, this is probably one of the most intense strategy games, one of the most in-depth, for sure, strategy games that I have played so far on this channel. And this is sort of where I'd like to take the channel, do more of this stuff, more of the in-depth, involved thinking kind of games, stuff that really requires a little bit of cranium usage. But if you don't know what Democracy 3 is, essentially it is a game where you get to run a country. You decide all the policies, you try and, manage your taxes and your income and your spendings and make sure you don't have a deficit and all this kind of stuff, all while trying not to be assassinated. It's a fantastic game. I've had a couple playthroughs. The very first time I played this, I got to my last turn before the very first election, and I had 98% positive, like everyone was going to vote for me. 98% of people were going to vote for me. And then basically the global markets took a massive hit. It screwed up my GDP, which meant my debt went through the roof, and everyone started hating me. And I lost the election with one turn to go. It went from 98% down to about 43 in one turn. So let's hope we cannot see that thing happen again. Let's go ahead and start a new game. And who do we want to start as? We can either start as the United Kingdom, UK, Great Britain, or we can go as France, we can go as Germany, United States, Canada, or Australia. Each of these have different sort of difficulties, and it doesn't tell you, oh, this one's really difficult, blah, 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 blah. You just have to sort of look at it. So the UK has a population of 63 million. It has a life expectancy of 80 years. The GDP per capita is 36,000 or 36,700. 14% poverty. Low poverty would be nice because it makes the poverty sort of affects everything else. The more poverty you have, the more homelessness you have, which leads to more crime, which also leads to alcohol abuse, which then also leads to crime. It just sort of fluctuates back and forth. And so low poverty would be ideal. I did manage to wipe out all crime and all homelessness in one of my run-throughs, so that'd be nice. And it also has the lowest Big Mac index out of all of them. So basically, it's got, the Big Mac index, for those of you who don't know, is basically how much does it cost in this particular country to buy a Big Mac, because a Big Mac is the same throughout all countries, right? No matter where you go and buy a Big Mac, it is the same thing. It's got the same ingredients, and so therefore, the cheaper the Big Mac is to buy in that place, sort of, the better the spending money of that. The better that currency is, essentially. So this has a 3.32, which I believe is the lowest. The Australians have 4.62, so it's, over $1 cheaper in the United Kingdom to buy a Big Mac. France has slightly more people, with, this one doesn't actually tell you how much poverty there is, but it does say, it's number 23 in the world for obesity, but everyone is quite happy, and cannabis use is 4.7%, so it must be legal in France to use cannabis. Germany has a lot of beer consumption and a much higher obesity rate, 12.9 versus 9.4. And has even more people, almost 20 million more people. So we've got that. Higher GDP though, 39,000 versus 36,000, and France doesn't tell us. United States has got way more people. I'm not even doing the maths to multiply that. And again, an even higher GDP by 10,000. It has a Big Mac index of 4.2, so it's slightly more than the UK, but it's still pretty good, and a stupidly high obesity rate. So basically, if I played the US, the first thing I'd do is put a subsidy in for healthy food and a tax on fast food, and then I'd introduce free healthcare, and that would basically fix America, in my opinion. The other thing that could fix America would be just get rid of Trump. Population of Canada, 33 million, so it's the smallest so far. It has quite a high GDP, which is nice, low poverty, and it's one of the higher of the Big Mac indexes on this list, but it's pretty decent. And also, there's a nice mix sort of ethnicities. So Canada's a lovely place. People like Canada, right? Canadians are lovely and happy, so that's fine. That's a good thing. And Australia has the smallest population here, but one of the largest actual square kilometre sizes, has the second highest Big Mac index by 1 cent behind Canada. It has 22 million jars per year of Vegemite. It actually does. I'm sad New Zealand isn't on here because I reckon, despite being way, way smaller than Australia in terms of population, our Marmite consumption would be almost as high. And it has a ridiculous GDP. $65,000 per capita, right? Compared to 41, 49, like 50,000. That's roughly 50,000, right? This is $15,000 more per capita, right? That's a decent GDP. So Australia's rich, Canada is happy, United States is fat, Germany is drunk, France is... What is France? France is Catholic. Yep. and high. They're Catholic and high. Perfect. And then the UK are eating a lot of Big Macs because they're cheap. Stereotypes done, out of the way. I think we're going to go ahead and play as Canada for this run through. So, onto the next screen. Basically, we get to pick my party and what I'm going to call myself and what I'm going to call the enemy. The enemy, the opposition. I'm going to go ahead and call myself the Tech Party. That will do. And the opposition is going to be YouTube. YouTube is the opposition. I must fight them with all my might to try and get some sort of foothold in this world. Term length, we can either do 3, 4, or 5 years. I'm going to go with 4 years. That's what it is in New Zealand. I don't care what it is in Canada. 4 years seems like a nice... It's the middle number, right? It seems fine. And I'm going to have... I'm going to give myself... Let's give myself 3-term limit, right? So if we make it through 3 terms of 4 years, that's 12 years of this, then hope, that we can call it the end of this particular series, playing as Canada anyway. There's plenty of DLC to play with. Otherwise, if I don't make it, we'll see. Difficulty, I'm gonna leave all of this stuff as it is. Alright, so we are loading, and time to meet our government. Alright, congratulations on your election victory. The lives of all 33.5 million citizens now in your hands. Number of situations and concerns to keep your eye on, and we face re-election in 4 years. Our GDP is low, health is low, education is high, crime is stupidly high, as is unemployment and poverty. So I think the first thing I want to do is try and increase health and lower crime. And I think in turn that will help poverty and unemployment. But we'll get into that. Let's begin our first term. And for those of you who haven't seen Democracy 3 before, any democracy game, basically how it works is your main screen is split into different sections. We got transport, we have law and order, we have public services, taxation, economy, welfare, and foreign policies. Now in each of those are some different bubbles. The white ones, right, are basically your policies. You can change them. Blue ones are statistics. You can't change them. And red ones are bad things that are happening. Like at the moment, there is a rail strike. Now, if you hover over any icon, it shows you basically what is affecting it. So rail subsidy, red arrows mean it brings it down. Green arrows means it's bringing it up. The direction and the speed of the arrow shows you sort of what it's affecting and how much it's affecting. So the rail subsidies is moving kind of fast, so it's really bringing down the rail strike, right? It's lowering the rail strike, but poor earnings, unemployment, and labor laws are all bringing it up, while it is lowering the GDP of Canada. So that's how that works. I can go in there and I can see its causes. Basically, it started when it went above the red line. I have to bring it below the green to stop it. Things that bring it down are rail subsidies and labor laws, unemployment, all that kind of stuff. So I could go ahead to rail subsidies and I could spend more money, right, but basically putting more money into rail subsidies, which is going to make commuters happy. It's going to increase rail usage. It's going to make the motorists less happy with me, but that's okay. It's going to bring the rail strike down way, like almost completely annihilated, and it's also going to help with unemployment. It's also going to put up poor earnings and middle earnings, so that's quite a decent thing. But you'll notice it's going to cost me $6 billion per quarter. Currently, it costs me $2.45 million per quarter. Billion, sorry, a quarter. $2.5 billion a quarter. It's going to cost me $6.5 billion. So if I revert changes and close out of here, I currently have a deficit, right, of $13 billion. So I'm spending $13 billion more than I'm bringing in. So I don't want to spend any more money just yet, right? That's a bad thing. I don't want to spend more money. I need to earn some money first. Now, the other big thing is this. This shows sort of my popularity. Each of these is a different group, and each voter can belong to multiple groups. The grey bar in the background, I don't know if you can see that on video, but behind the socialist there is sort of a grey bar. That shows what percentage of population is that. So for instance, this would tell me that about, I'd say 80% of Canada are socialists. If I click on there, it'll tell me, yeah, 76% are socialists. Down here, this says, what makes them happy, what makes them sad. Right now, they're pretty decently happy with me. I mean, they're not super green like the retired guys or the state employees or farmers, but they're not pissed off like the religious people, okay? So, in here, we could go to any of these and say, right, state health service, right? This makes the poor happy, the socialists happy, health goes up, retired people are happy about it, state employees are happy about it, brings down private healthcare. It also brings down the contagious disease, which is this one here, this bad thing, right? This contagious disease, I'd really, really like to stop because it's actually costing us money right now. The doctor's strike is actually not helpful on that. So is that this one here? Why do we have so many strikes? Come on, people. I need to bring this down. What makes this go up? Wages and trade unionist percent. Okay. Let's put that up. That's going to cost me, it's currently costing me 12 billion, or almost 13 billion. It's going to cost me 16 billion. So it's about 3 billion more in cost. But it's going to bring down contagious disease, the doctor's strike, obesity, a whole bunch of stuff. Unemployment's going to go down. It's going to do me really good stuff, right? And to raise it, it's going to cost me 18 political capital. I currently have 23. So let's go ahead and do that. And it will take 12 turns to implement. So it's not going to happen straight away. It will take time. But hopefully that's going to help. Now I have 5 political capital left, so I'm not going to be able to do much. So I'm just going to progress to the next turn. So here we go. That was 1 quarter, right? Here is the summary of the current state of your nation. Nothing has changed just yet. You'll see a little arrow if it does. Children's food. There's an urgent policy question. A law has been proposed to regulate the fat content and nutritional value of food sold to children, including food sold in fast food restaurants and, of course, food served in schools. This is likely to incur costs for the food retailers. You cannot interfere with the free market. This is the state interfering in people's lives. If kids want to eat fatty junk food and the parents do not mind, then who are the politicians to tell them not to eat hamburgers? Or we could regulate it and say obesity is a major problem, which has a severe impact on people's health. Marketing unhealthy food to people at such an early age is unacceptable, and we should pass the law now to safeguard the future health of our citizens. Yes, absolutely. So as you can see here, 1% of them intend to vote for me in the next election. Despite just getting voted in, it starts at 1%, right? You'd think that all the guys that people that just voted for me would want to vote again. But they don't. That's fine. Our international credit rating BBB, bad. That's a bad thing, right? We need to basically, to fix that, we need to get our deficit up. We need to start earning money so that we can start paying our debt off, because we have 1,000 billion. I believe that's $1 trillion of debt. So it'd be really, really nice to get that up. So the first thing I'm going to do is come in here, go to tax. By the way, this is the policy screens. So we set the policies. And I'm going to look at stuff that earns us money. We currently have 16 billion of deficit. So if we could get something that's going to make us that much money, it would be awesome. We also want to make sure that it's going to keep people happy. Right, we want to make sure people are happy. A luxury goods tax we could implement, but I played with it before and it kind of hurt things a little bit in the end. A mansion tax, a special high rate of tax charged annually on the ownership of super expensive homes. It's popular with some because it is almost impossible to avoid, as homes cannot be easily hidden. It is perceived as unfair by some elderly people who may have expensive homes but relatively low incomes and thus have difficulty in paying the annual tax. It is a form of wealth tax as opposed to income tax. So basically, if you're wealthy, we'll tax you, not based on how much you earn, but just how much stuff you have. It would make us plenty of money, and it's not particularly, people don't particularly hate it. And it's going to cost me 26 political capital, so maybe not. Junk food tax, people will hate it, but it will, and it won't make us much money. Health food subsidies is going to cost us money. Health tax credits, school tax credits. I'm looking for things that make us money. These all make money. Recreational drugs tax. It has been legalized, I believe. I believe we've legalized some stuff. Narcotics. Cannabis is legal at this point in Canada, so we could tax it, but it's not going to make us money and people aren't very happy about it. That's, again, not much money. 8 billion for an automation tax. If we implement this, it's going to bring down technology and industrial automation and the capitalists, but it will make trade unionists happy. It will also make us a little bit of money. I'm going to make us... how unhappy do I want people to be? Let's give us 6 billion. Let's try and get it bang on 6. There we go. 6 billion, that will do. What else can we do? Taxes. Punitive tax on superstores. Nah, that kind of hurts things a lot. Luxury goods tax will make us plenty of money, which is nice. Punitive wealth tax. Let's give this a bit of a read. There is nothing wrong with wealth as such, but inequality in our society is bad enough that we must be seen to do something to ensure that those with the highest levels of income bear their share of the costs of maintaining a healthy society. It is entirely reasonable to set a tax rate that takes away the majority of income above extremely high levels, as this money is so much more appreciated by those on lower incomes. Basically, we'll tax the rich a lot, and we won't tax the poor very much. I don't know, it'll kind of lower equality of, I believe it would lower equality. So we'll have to have a think about that. This stuff will cost us money. It's never going to make us money. Foreign policy, this would make us money, but it pisses the internationals off, and I kind of want to keep them happy. Let's have a look. Welfare is just going to cost us money, though this one actually makes money. And I really like this one. Welfare fraud department. Basically, I can bang this up. It's going to make us 70 million because it's going to cost 200 and then make 274, so it's going to make 74 million. It sort of makes the poor less happy with us, but it I don't know. It seems good, right? It basically means you can't defraud the welfare department. So that, to me, seems like a kind of good thing. Now I've got 18 political capital. Let's see if we can deal with one of these things, right? We've got homelessness, uncompetitive economy, which is not something I can actually really fix easily. I could increase productivity. What brings us down? Health brings us down. let's try and get the health up. What's bringing that down? Doctor's strike. Okay, let's try and fix the doctor's strike. State health service is going to bring it down. Unemployment, blah, 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 blah. Wages, immigration, citizens, like, see, it just keeps going through. Let's see what else we can work on. Contagious disease, which we are working on. Pollution is bringing it down, which is caused by the environment. The environment is brought down by car usage and put up by clean energy subsidies. But clean energy subsidies costs us. Right, like if I raise this, it doesn't actually cost as much. It's only a couple million. And that's only a few million, and it's really gonna help out with everything, the environment and the whole thing. So let's go ahead and do that. Because when your deficit is 16 billion, 500 million isn't, so bad. What is this? This is pollution, which is caused by the environment. So that's sort of fixed that. We can also go ahead and try and lower car usage. So obviously car usage is actually a good thing. We kind of want a nice balance. I'd like to see this sort of in the middle. Let's go bus usage. Let's try and increase bus usage, which we can do by subsidizing them. That's going to cost us more money and not do too much really for us. We could lower this right down, which would save us some money, but not enough to really care about too much. Okay, what's another negative thing? Doctor strike we're already working on, as is the contagious disease. Obesity. Obesity would be good. Children's food. Okay, so that's bringing obesity down. We want stuff that's going to bring obesity down, right? That's really what we want. What's agriculture subsidies? Oh, it's because it's low. So if we find obesity, if I raise this, no, that increases obesity? Huh. Okay. What if I bring it down? It's going to save us a bit of money. 800 million, roughly. It's going to make farmers less happy with us. But it's also going to sort of negate... Currently, this is actually bringing health and the food price down. Oh, it's good to bring the food price down, though. But not so much health and obesity. I'd prefer to do that. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll move on to the next turn, as I only have 7 political capital left. We'll go ahead and see what results. Armed religious communities. Oh, okay. Let's fix that. And also the public smoking ban, yes. Let's ban public smoking. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I am going to leave it there for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this new series, then smash that like button. And if you're new around here, then also don't forget to hit subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.